We must address the serious situation in Baltimore City's public housing projects, at the Gilmore homes and others. Allegations from tenants that some maintenance workers have refused to make repairs to heating and other serious issues unless they receive sexual favors. 11 women have filed a federal lawsuit. State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby is investigating. 2 of the maintenance workers have already been fired.
The sexual harassment is about the living conditions. Women work vulnerable because of their living conditions, and we're taken advantage of in that way.
All of this while tenants are crying out for help because of deplorable conditions in many of Baltimore's public housing projects. Demands that Housing Commissioner Paul Graziano be fired. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake says no way he's here to stay. Jimmy Mathis.
It's not just for pool boys anymore, huh?
Yeah. Carla Nelson Chambers.
Shame on you. But I think this has gone on way too long, and I just wonder what it took so long for the women to come out and make a difference and say something.
Anthony McCarthy.
I trust the mayor's judgment, but someone needs to be held accountable for this, and I think it might have to be the housing commissioner.
And Caroline Arbol.
Well, I disagree about Graziano. I actually think this might be the first time I agree with Stephanie Rawlings-Blake in that we need to wait for everything to be investigated and that she should stand by him right now. I think he's got some great ideas, and I think we just have to wait and see how this turns out.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Square Off. I'm Richard Scher. Welcome to the program again on a day where tomorrow night the Baltimore Ravens play again. That's all I can say. Welcome to the show brought to you by the law offices of Peter Angelos. And if you or if someone in your family has a serious problem, serious legal issue, pick up the phone tomorrow morning. Call 1-800-556-5522, the law offices of Peter Angelos. A great guy, a great law firm. I guarantee you'll be glad you did.
The fire department said my unit is unsafe and unlivable, and I'm still staying in that residence as we speak.
Baltimore City is nothing but a Gestapo when it comes to the citizens living in public housing.
Ceilings leaking, all kinds of deplorable stuff. Mildew, roaches, rats, sickening, deplorable conditions. And on the one hand, demand for sexual favors or for maintenance on the other. Carla, we're going to let you talk first, but I must stop because I know how big you are on this. We want to congratulate you and Jake because you got married the other day. When did you get married?
The other day.
When did you get married?
It was 2 months ago on Thursday, the 22nd. It was 2 months.
Well, and how's it going so far?
Awesome.
Because my daddy used to say you should get married early in the morning because if it doesn't work out, you would not waste the whole day. Congratulations to you and Jake. Take off on our discussion, please, on the deplorable conditions in some public housing projects in the city.
As a woman, I cannot understand why, regardless of the sexual favors, why they would allow themselves to stay in such a condition like that. And I thought about it and I thought, well, maybe they didn't have anyone to go to, but that's not an excuse either.
Well, some of these tenants are saying that this is going back years, so then you have to ask the question why it took so long for this to come to the forefront. I agree with Stephanie Rawlings-Blake on this. Everybody's so quick to ask for somebody's resignation. With that being said, once the mayor doubles down and says that she supports somebody, usually that's the kiss of death. So see how long he has left.
I think we have to ask the question, if this has been going on for years, if these folks have been living in these conditions for years, but the flip side of that, many of them say they've been reporting this for years. Someone knows there's a paper trail. I agree. Let's get all the facts, but someone has to be held accountable.
Right.
These women are being re-victimized once again because people are asking questions, maybe rightly so. Why did you live in these conditions so long?
Right.
Some of them saying they went without heat for 2 years. Something's wrong here.
Because they allegedly wouldn't do...
Well, then call someone else.
Right.
Move up the ladder. Call Paul Graziano.
That's a reason to go protest the city hall.
That's right. That's the reason.
Well, while I understand the frustration, and I think it's horrible that they were living in these conditions, no one should have to live that way, it speaks to a bigger issue. There is no money to handle this, which is why the one thing Graziano said about privatization of 40% of the housing, we are the 26th largest city in the U.S., and we have the 5th most number of public housing.
More than 11,000 units. The city and federal government, as you mentioned, offering very big tax reliefs for developers to buy and renovate the projects, which would take only $100 million to renovate. Go on,
And
Caroline.
if they did that, it would cover half of the cost, is what they've by privatization, half the cost would be covered. We can't afford, the state of Maryland has so many problems, we cannot afford. I feel terrible for these people, but where is this money coming from?
Part of me,
where is it going to come from?
Part of me is shocked to hear women talk about these mothers who have to worry about rats, who have to worry about roaches, have to worry about all these things. I understand the argument about money, but there's a human cost, obviously, to all of this. And I think someone needs to figure out what's going on with these moms, these dads, these children living in these deplorable conditions before we start worrying about how much money
didn't
we
Mayor
have.
Schmoke tear down a bunch of public housing projects?
They did.
But he
Murphy
did.
Homes.
And actually, it was a program that Schmoke had a lot of success in, is the home ownership aspect of this. You're going back 20 years, it's been a success. Actually, I did a walking tour with the mayor, former mayor, a couple months ago.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
I heard that on the radio. I mean, your whole interview with him was great.
But I think it's, you know, you look at Sandtown and you look at the problems that are going on in Freddie Gray's old neighborhood. There are pockets that have been successful with this home ownership program. Now you look at this story, I think it's an opportunity to maybe look at some of these programs that have worked, that have been successful.
And part of it, I think, is because people are being ignored. But as a woman, my thing is, if I'm living in that kind of situation, I'm going to scream and yell at somebody.
Everybody.
Right. But somebody that can make a difference. And if the people at housing that are coming in, that's a reason to go protest at City Hall. That's a reason to go contact my council person
Or clean
and
up your
say,
own house.
you need to change it.